Who would have thought that Marc Marquez could send the entire MotoGP paddock into shock in just a single day? Arriving at the Hungarian Grand Prix surrounded by doubts and pressure, the multiple-time world champion delivered such an extraordinary performance that his rivals looked frustrated, out of answers, and even seemingly broken as they watched his speed and dominance around Balaton Park. Is this the clearest sign yet that Marc Marquez has truly returned to his very best and is ready to take control of MotoGP once again? Let's discuss. The 2026 Hungarian Grand Prix at Balaton Park produced a story that was hard to believe. While many continued to question Marc Marquez's physical condition following his recovery from injury, the Ducati Lenovo Team rider responded with a stunning display of speed and consistency. Not only did Marquez win the sprint race, but he also dominated the main Grand Prix, sending a powerful message to every rival on the grid that he is far from finished. The rider who felt the impact of that dominance the most was Pedro Acosta. The young KTM star, widely regarded as a future MotoGP champion, arrived in Hungary full of confidence. His pace throughout the weekend looked highly competitive, and for the first time in quite a while, Acosta appeared to have a genuine opportunity to claim his maiden Premier Class victory. But once again, that dream was denied by the same man, Marc Marquez. From the very beginning of the race, Pedro Acosta rode aggressively and fearlessly. He worked hard to stay within striking distance of Marquez and keep himself in a position to attack. Every lap was completed at maximum intensity as he attempted to apply psychological pressure on the Ducati rider. Yet, the more pressure Acosta applied, the stronger Marquez responded. This highlighted the biggest difference between a rider who is fast and a rider who knows how to win races. Acosta possesses incredible speed, but Marquez brings a far more complete package. In addition to raw pace, he has experience, composure, race intelligence, and near-perfect race management. Several times, Acosta managed to maintain a rhythm close to Marquez's pace. However, whenever an opportunity emerged to close the gap, the world champion simply found another level and re-established a comfortable advantage. There were no mistakes, no panic, no openings to exploit. For Acosta, this defeat was undoubtedly painful. Since stepping up to MotoGP in 2024, he has shown remarkable progress. Podium finishes have become increasingly common, and his name is constantly mentioned as a future world champion. Yet one major goal still remains out of reach: his first MotoGP victory. Ironically, his best opportunity so far was once again stopped by Marc Marquez. The race in Hungary proved once again that speed alone is not enough to win at the highest level of MotoGP. Success requires far more than setting fast lap times. Riders must manage their tyres, adapt to changing track conditions, maintain concentration over dozens of laps, and know exactly when to attack and when to defend. All of those qualities were on full display in Marc Marquez's performance at Balaton Park. Despite recovering from injury and surgery only a few weeks earlier, Marquez rode like a man at the peak of his powers. He controlled the race calmly and never appeared to be under serious pressure. Performances like this are why many observers are beginning to believe that Marc Marquez's resurgence is no coincidence. While Marquez enjoyed one of his strongest weekends of the season, Aprilia experienced a completely different story. Before the race, many expected Aprilia to be Ducati's biggest threat. Their pace throughout the weekend looked extremely promising. Marco Bezzecchi appeared strong, Jorge Martin showed competitive speed, and several other Aprilia riders also seemed capable of fighting near the front of the field. However, all of those hopes disappeared just seconds after the start lights went out. As the pack charged into the first corner, a major incident immediately unfolded. Jorge Martin lost control of his bike under braking and triggered a chain reaction crash. Marco Bezzecchi was the first victim. Raul Fernandez was also caught up in the incident. Fermin Aldegar had no way to avoid it, while Fabio Di Giannantonio was swept into the domino effect as well. Within seconds, 5 riders were involved in a massive accident that instantly changed the course of the race. For Aprilia, the consequences were devastating. Bezzecchi, who had been widely expected to challenge Marc Marquez, was forced to retire early. Jorge Martin was also unable to continue, and Raul Fernandez suffered the same fate. That meant most of Aprilia's main competitive force was eliminated before the race had even truly begun. Aprilia Racing. CEO Massimo Rivola certainly had good reason to feel optimistic before the race. The data showed that the RSGP had highly competitive pace, their race rhythm looked promising, and a podium finish seemed well within reach. However, racing is not determined by performance alone. Luck, track position, and unexpected incidents often play a decisive role in the final outcome. Disappointment clearly filled the Aprilia garage after the race. They not only lost a chance to fight for a podium, but also missed the opportunity to collect valuable points in the World Championship battle. Even so, Rivola remained realistic. Incidents like these are simply part of racing and cannot always be avoided. Sometimes a team does everything right, yet the final result still fails to match expectations. Amid the chaos that struck his rivals, Marc Marquez enjoyed an almost perfect weekend. From qualifying onward, the Spanish rider had already sent a strong message. He secured pole position with an incredibly convincing performance. That dominance continued in the sprint race, where Marquez led from the front and claimed victory without facing any serious challenge. The highlight came in the main race. With remarkable control and confidence, he took another victory and completed a flawless weekend in Hungary. Pole position, sprint race victory, and Grand Prix victory. A perfect clean sweep. What makes this achievement even more impressive is the fact that Marquez is still in the process of recovering from injury. Many people had questioned whether he could return to his best form so quickly. Marquez's outstanding performance also caught the attention of Massimo Rivola. The Aprilia boss admitted that he was pleased to see Marquez back at a competitive level, because a rider of his caliber makes the championship even more exciting. At the same time, however, Rivola acknowledged that he was surprised by just how quickly Marquez had managed to regain his top form. Aprilia has been one of the strongest teams throughout the 2026 season. While Marquez was still battling through his recovery, the Nola-based manufacturer collected numerous positive results and became the benchmark for speed on the grid. But the situation may now be changing. Hungary could be the first sign that the balance of power in MotoGP 2026 is beginning to shift. Marquez did not just win, he won in dominant fashion. The advantage he built throughout the race demonstrated that he once again possesses the raw speed capable of beating anyone on the grid. Many analysts believe the secret behind his resurgence is a combination of experience, more mature risk management, and Marquez's natural ability to understand the limits of his motorcycle better than anyone else. What do you think? Is Marquez's dominant performance at the Hungarian Grand Prix proof that the champion is truly back and ready to fight for the 2026 MotoGP World Championship? Share your thoughts in the comments below.